Hi students, welcome to week 4. I wanted to go over what we're going to be doing this week. So of course the test was delayed, and so some of you may not have taken test 1 yet. Remember, tomorrow's the last day to take test 1 in our ELTC. So check their hours and make sure that you get that done. So the week 4 content has been available since 8 this morning. We're going to be starting on those shortcut rules that I kept referring to when I was talking about those who've taken this class before and on test 1, how you're expected to use the limit definition of the derivative. Now we're going to learn the shortcut rules, which makes finding derivatives much easier. We'll start with section 3.1. And for section 3.1, these are pretty easy rules with exponents and the exponential function. Again, you're going to need some algebra to find the derivatives sometimes, to simplify before you find the derivatives, but 3.1 is very straightforward. 3.2 introduces 2 rules that help you find the derivative of more complicated functions that are actually the product of 2 functions. So the product rule and the quotient rule. The product rule is easier for people to remember. I just remember it in my head. It's the derivative of the first times the second plus the derivative of the second times the first. So since you're using addition, it doesn't matter what order you do it in, as long as you have the derivative of 1 times just the regular function plus the derivative of the other times the regular other given function, you're good. But the quotient rule, it does matter because it involves subtraction, and subtraction does not commute. So you're going to need to remember the quotient rule, and some people remember there's a goofy song for the quotient rule. And then section 3.3 is gets a little more complicated. With section 3.2, if you have the quotient rule and the product rule down, you're set. But with section 3.3, you're getting more complex because it goes over derivatives of trig functions. And I find that instead of memorizing derivatives of 6 new functions, I just remember the derivative of the sine and the cosine function, and then you have to remember what the other functions are in terms of the sine and cosine function. For example, secant is 1 over cosine. So to find the derivative of secant, I would just use the quotient rule for cosine, the function 1 over cosine x. That's something that's can help you simplify your memorization in section 3.3. And then finally, I posted in section 3.3 a link to our pre-calculus review items that are actually in the course resources part of the class. I found this file last summer, what I need to know from trig, because trig, in addition to algebra, trig trips up a lot of people in this class, not remembering trig. So this is a really good reference with a lot of good information all in one place. But check out this, what I need to know from trig. If you print it, it's a good thing to reference as you're doing your homework. So there's a lot of stuff on 4 pages, so this is a really good thing to have handy. So as usual, there is a WebAssign homework assignment for each section, and this week the discussion boards are a little different. So the one that's due Thursday is going to be the usual, do a problem from the last few sections or answer a question. And then Sunday, by that point you'll get back your graded tests. That's another thing I wanted to mention, that I get the tests back Thursday afternoon to the North Campus. So they'll be scanned to you some point Friday. So I'll look for an email from me with your a copy of the scanned graded test attached. So for the discussion board Sunday, I'd like you to go over your test and post on what misconceptions you may have had that made you miss a problem, or what error you made. And this isn't to be any form of torture, but just to help you figure out what you did wrong and to help others as well, because a lot of things are very common. So that's due Sunday as usual. And then next week we'll go over the next 3 sections in Chapter 3, and there will be a quiz not this coming weekend, but over the next weekend. So have a good week, and I will see you soon.